इस वीडियो को हिंदी भाषा में देखने के लिए सेटिंग्स में जाकर हिंदी ऑडियो चुनें। Namaskar. Welcome to Simplify Your Space. We all use a variety of tools in our kitchen for everyday cooking. Markets offer us a plethora of choices, but that sometimes can be confusing too. This can lead to buying wrong items, wasting both our time and money. And I have experienced this myself several times. In today's video, we will discuss how to select basic kitchen items and what to keep in mind when purchasing them. So, let's get started. Colander is one of daily used items in our kitchens, quite helpful for washing vegetables and fruits or otherwise straining water. It is advisable to buy a steel colander because they are easy to clean and last for many years. Nowadays, painted steel colanders are quite trendy. They look good for sure, but over time there is a possibility of the paint peeling off, making them look unattractive. When choosing a colander, pick a one that has holes evenly distributed. This ensures that water drains out easily. For example, this one does not have even hole distribution, especially around the edges, and the water does not drain effectively. Another important consideration is the size of the holes. A colander with smaller holes is suitable for straining water from rice, chana or poha. I use this one almost regularly for washing a small quantity of poha. Colanders with larger holes are good for washing leafy vegetables and fruits. There is also a big colander that fits easily over your sink. This versatile colander is not only useful for straining water from rice, pasta or poha, but also very helpful for washing vegetables and fruits. Next is the mortar and pestle, quite commonly used in almost every household. There are various types such as steel, marble or granite. The steel mortar is lightweight but requires significant effort to grind, especially spices and nuts, and it tends to make a lot of noise. Moreover, it puts a lot of pressure on the hands and does not yield the same results as a stone mortar. There is also a risk of rusting with steel mortar and pestles. A marble or granite mortar and pestle are quite useful. These come in two varieties, smooth and rough surfaces. A rough surface mortar and pestle works better and faster than a smooth surface one. It can easily and quickly grind ginger, garlic, green chilies, nuts and spices. This pestle is heavy and thick, provides a good grip and crushes the spices effortlessly. A lightweight pestle will require more time and effort for grinding. There are also fancy marble mortar and pestle available which look beautiful but are functionally poor. Because the shapes of the pestle and mortar are the same, they are ineffective at grinding anything. You will find it difficult to even crush a cardamom. Therefore, choose wisely. Now let's look at oil dispensers that we all use to store various types of oils and to make pouring easy during cooking. There are many varieties available. First, let's see which type of oil dispenser you should avoid. Here, for example, is a glass bottle without a handle. Although it has a rubber grip, it still needs to be handled very carefully. Its lid is quite loose and the pouring nozzle is too wide. If you are not careful while pouring, a lot of oil can come out at once, leading to significant wastage. Another oil dispenser that I don't find very useful is the smaller dispenser with a brush. It also lacks a handle. It has a silicone brush for easily greasing the pan. The tool is quite helpful for making parathas or dosas with less oil. However, the downside is that the food particles stick to the brush after greasing, and when you dip the brush back into the oil, it contaminates the oil. Cleaning the brush after every use is not a practical solution. A better approach is to pour a small amount of oil into a bowl and use a separate silicone brush for greasing, which you can wash afterward. This dispenser also has a small nozzle on the side for controlled pouring, but oil tends to leak from the lid, making the bottle greasy. Now let's look at recommended oil dispensers. Whether you choose a plastic, glass or steel dispenser, try to get one with the handle to reduce the chances of slipping. I've had these plastic and glass dispensers for almost 7 years and they're still working great. Both are very durable and have handles. They also have wide mouths, making them easy to clean. The oil does not leak from them and their outer surfaces remain clean. The medium-sized pouring nozzle allows for easy control of the pouring. This size is perfect, holding between 250 ml to 300 ml of oil. If you want a slightly larger oil dispenser, this glass dispenser with the handle is perfect. It comfortably holds 650 ml of oil. The wide mouth makes cleaning very easy. It also features an automatic tilt opening and closing mechanism for easy pouring, which is a very helpful feature that simplifies your kitchen routine. And it is totally leak-proof. We all use steel bowls for eating and steel glasses for drinking water at home. There are many sizes and different shapes available in the market. If you have strict space limitation in your kitchen, avoid buying bowls and glasses with odd shapes because they can't be stacked. Instead, buy bowls and glasses that can be easily stacked so they can be stored compactly and efficiently. We all use steel mixing bowls daily for washing rice, lentils or vegetables or for preparing batter. There are two types of edges available, one that is rolled outwards and one with edges rolled inwards. I will show you the difference between these two by washing lentils in both, so you can see which bowl is better. I have washed the lentils in both bowls and now I will transfer them to the pressure cooker. When you try to pour from bowl with the pressed inward edge, the lentils tend to get stuck at the top edge, wasting a lot of time. Additionally, dirt can accumulate in the pressed inward edges, which is not easily visible. On the other hand, the bowl with the outwardly rolled edge allows the lentil to pour out smoothly, making the task much easier. Cleaning this type of bowl is also smoother and more efficient. Many of us use these small jars to store spices in the kitchen. I've been using these spice jars for the last 10 years and they're absolutely perfect. However, whenever you buy them, make sure to check their lids. You will find two types of lids, one made of metal and the other made of plastic with a steel finish. The plastic lids are easy to identify. They are white on the inside and have a steel finish on the outside. I would not recommend these at all. After a few days, the paint starts peeling off, making them look unappealing. Moreover, these plastic lids develop cracks very quickly and break, causing many jars to go to waste. Whenever considering such jars, I would recommend the ones with metal lids. We all use these type of water bottles daily to store water, available in various shapes and sizes. I avoid narrow mouth bottles because filling and cleaning them is difficult. A normal bottle brush cannot reach inside it. Whereas wide mouth bottles are quite easy to use and maintain. Cleaning them is easy with any bottle brush. Next, we have the potato masher, which is used to mash boiled potatoes, vegetables and lentils. In the market, you will commonly find two types of mashers. One is a simple design and the other is a slightly more complicated double-layered masher. Let's see how both masher works. I have placed a boiled potato on each side and now we will try them out. The double-layered masher requires pressing with a bit of force and does mash the potato. The simple normal design masher also mashes the potato but without much effort or pressure. The difference lies here. The double-layered masher has a handle with a spring which puts quite a bit of pressure on my hands while pressing, which feels unnecessary. I still haven't understood the reason for its different design and two layers. Here is the most annoying part I want to show you. Whenever I press it, some particles start falling out from where the spring is attached inside, and you can see how many there are. Just think, if we don't pay attention, these particles could mix into our food. Another problem with this seems to be that if its spring breaks, it won't be of any use. Its price is also higher than a normal masher, but its performance is not anything special. Therefore, I recommend you to buy a normal masher and, if possible, one with an anti-slip grip. Wooden spatulas are commonly used in all households nowadays, especially for flipping paranthas or dosas or when using non-stick cookware to avoid scratching. You will find plenty of variety in these too. Some of them made of cheap wood and polished, which lose their shine over time and start looking very odd. If you look closely, their edges also become quite rough and start peeling after some time. The best ones are made of neem wood. They are made from 100% good quality neem wood without any polish. Their edges are completely smooth, which is why they last for years. I have been using these spatulas myself for the last 3 years and they still work great. You have probably seen two types of knives commonly used in households. One with a smooth edge and another with a serrated edge. What's the difference between them? A smooth-edged knife cuts hard vegetables easily, but when its sharpness decreases, it struggles to cut soft vegetables properly. You may have observed that when you use this type of knife to cut tomatoes or any soft vegetable, it doesn't cut smoothly. A serrated knife with its zigzag edges easily cuts hard vegetables and also smoothly and quickly slices soft vegetables. That's why it is essential to have a serrated knife at home. These are quite affordable and can be found easily in local shops or supermarkets like D-Mart. We all use this type of tadka pan specifically for tempering spices. Aluminium pans, which are lightweight, tend to deteriorate over time and their shape can become distorted. They often develop burnt marks that look unsightly and do not come off easily even after vigorous scrubbing. Therefore, if you ever buy a new tadka pan, consider trying a tri-ply steel pan. These pans are heavy due to their sandwich tri-ply layers and do not burn easily. They are very easy to clean and dishwasher safe as well. Alternatively, you can opt for hard anodized tadka pans which are of good quality and last for years. With these, you can roast spices or temper them with minimal or no oil. That's all for today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you liked it, don't forget to like and share. Subscribe to Simplify Your Space for more such videos. I'll see you all next week. Till then, happy organizing from Simplify Your Space. Bye bye.